Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Inner Conquest, the world's greatest modern metaphysics channel. I'm your host, Jacob Edens, and today we are going to be discussing what it means to take action. So, when you, just had a cold brew, sorry. When you take action, right, what you want to understand is this is a metaphysics channel. So, what we focus on primarily are Christian metaphysics, as through, you could use the lexicon of like a law of assumption, where you could talk about dimensional spacing, like fourth dimensional, third dimensional, all that good stuff, right? So what we're doing is when we take action, we're taking what you could call metaphysical action, which is essentially what, if you look into the Essenes or original Christian mysticism, if you go more Western thought process, is a mental first action process, okay? So you mentally act first before you take physical action, because the physical action is a reverberation of thought, right? Thought and will create reality. So when you have thought and will, and you also understand who you are, which is who everybody else is, which is God, and if you don't think that way, that's because there's a system that has convinced you that God is outside of you in order to control you. As simple as that, right? And if, you need to go through the whole process where you figure that out, that's cool too. That's all good. But what you're doing, right, when you are in a reality that is fucked up in any way, you are doing two things. You're either accepting the reality as it is, meaning you're looking at it and going, yep, that's how reality is. This is how it is. This is how it's always going to be. Or you're amending it. And that amendment process is not just for changing your bank balance or for essentially, doing personal shit to get things. That amendment process works on the reality at large, okay? So when you go down a road and you see a pothole, if you use your fourth dimensional mind to amend that and see that pothole as fixed, you are shifting your co-creative aspect of the collective reality to be a specific way, okay? If you didn't have the power to do that, then there wouldn't be so much fucking propaganda trying to control your mind to get you to see the world in a certain way. Your mind, very literally, creates reality, okay? Think about this. Think about a bunch of people go into a room, and the only rule is your thoughts manifest, okay? Now, all those people are manifesting what they want. Some people are manifesting houses. They're thinking about houses they want to have. They're thinking about partners they want to have. They're thinking about cool shit that they want to have. Now, the game switches, and 99% of the people forget that their thoughts are manifesting things. And they're just in the reality where all of the things have already been manifested. And so they walk around and they go, wow, all these things are so cool. How did they get here? This is incredible. Wow. But one person knows that all of those things were created by the other 99 people in the room because they were all manifesting thoughts, and that person still has the ability to think. And that person who remembers that their thoughts can create reality starts to convince the other people that person, because they know they can create thoughts or create things with their thoughts, is a god. And everybody, because they don't remember that, start to think that that person's a god and that person has power over them. And now that one person rules, not because he actually is a real god, but because everybody's thoughts are creating reality. So when you have 99 people in the room thinking that this person is a god, to them, he becomes their god. See what I'm saying? So your thoughts are creating the fucking reality, and everyone else's thoughts are creating the fucking reality, but everybody's asleep. So when you wake up, you realize that because your consciousness, because you have a will, because you're a soul, you're the player in the room that can create shit with their mind. And anything that tries to circumvent that power and say, no, you need to actually have money before you can create this thing, or no, you actually need to do this, is trying to keep you asleep to the fact that your thoughts can create the fucking reality. So when you wake up, understand you always have two options. You can create what you want with your mind, or you can accept what's already been created as fixed. Both of those are thoughts, and both of those are enforced through the process of your will manifesting itself into the reality. So never, ever, ever accept anything that is not to your liking, because you always have the ability to mentally enter a state where it is the way you want it, right? In harmony and collective benefit for everybody. There's no limitations, because you can revise everything, because your thoughts create the reality. Your thoughts create the reality. Your thoughts create the reality. If I see a bank balance I don't like, mentally amend the numbers. That's how it is. And you stick to that mental amendment, because you understand that the third dimensional reality, even though it's a little bit slower than your thought is, right? Like if you were in real reality and you thought and it just manifested, it wouldn't even need to be manifest. You would actually just change the reality. But in this place, it's a little bit slowed down, so it doesn't really have to catch up. That's not really the most accurate way of looking at it. But there is an illusion of things kind of conforming through that bridge of incidents to catch up, if that makes sense, right? So you either accept it or you change it. You accept it or you change it. Binary lens, but it's always a choice, because your thought is always creating the thing. And your accepting of the reality as a certain way is creating the thing, because you're a co-creator just like every other single person. Every single other person is the same. Every single other person has the same ability to think and influence reality at whatever scale they want. So if you see something, I'll give you a good example. I used to drive by my river in my hometown every single day, and it was fucking empty and stupid. Like it was like just sand and all fucked up and whatever. And I was like, man, wouldn't it be cool if the river was full all the time? So what do? Every time I drive by the river, I see it in my mind as full. I see it in my mind as full. What do? I go out of town one weekend. I come back. Boom. They put a fucking dam down over in the other part of the river. And every single day I come by my river now, it's completely full. Like, that's the influential power that your mind and assumptions have on reality. It's a fucking malleable reality. So if you have a mental image of your city being dog shit, you are part of the co-creation of the city manifesting itself as dog shit. Or if you see something as having power over you, or you see something as this, you are creating it that way. So the utmost importance in life is to understand that you have divine authority because of your thought process and your ability to curtail reality through your will, your intention, and your mental faculties. Because everything outside of you is just a thought that has been concentrated on and accepted as true. So when these things that seem so crazy or outside of your power try to assert themselves over you or control you, even that in of itself is just a thought that that thing has any ability to do that. So understanding thought and understanding thinking is very important, because that's your primary tool to change reality around you. And as you get better and better and better at amending things and moving things and exercising your will to cultivate things in the dynamics and the ways and the peoples and places and circumstances in ways that are up to your standards, you start to realize that this reality is malleable like clay, right? Everything's happening now. You had a past event that didn't go the way you wanted it to go. Revise it, mold it like clay exactly the way you want it to. Everything's now, so it has to change the now moment, and it has to change the future moments, because it's all happening now. So as you begin to mold reality with your mind, you understand that you have damn near infinitesimal, unlimited ability to curtail your life in the way that you want it to be. Never accept anything that is physicalized outside of you as final or permanent that is not up to your standards. In the same way, if you're a potter and you're making pots and you make a really weird oblong pot, that's okay. You're just making pots, and that one didn't turn out the way you wanted it to do. But that doesn't define you as a potter. Doesn't define you in terms of that you can melt that back down and reconstruct it into whatever you want, right? You have the ability to do whatever you want to do until you say you don't. But it all starts from that preceding mental activity and that ability to understand, first of all, who you are, and that you actually have tangible, powerful ability to shape your reality in the way that you desire. So I know you guys enjoyed the video. For those of you who want coaching, it's all in the link tree. For those of you who want future videos on certain topics, put them in the comments. And more important than any of that, go conquer, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.